Look, I already know what you're here for. Yes, go true to size. This is my second pair of Dunks within the last year, and they both have fit true to size, so that's what I recommend going with. Plus, I've looked around too, and that seems to be the consensus. Now, I don't know for sure if this is just in my head, but the highs seem to have a little bit more toe space, which would make sense because the upper is bigger, right? So it kind of makes sense, but I don't know if that's just an actual thing or just in my head. Pertaining to size, there is one thing I will say is that there is a little bit of tightness on the sides of the toe box. Now, it could be because of how I lace it. You see these are laced pretty damn tight, but even after I loosened it, I still had that problem just a bit. Let's be honest about price here. These are not going down in price anytime soon, as most Dunk colorways. Even the less popular ones seem to be holding price just because in general right now Dunks are really popular. Now, at the time of recording this video, particularly for this colorway, I have seen these at the lowest around 205, 215 for most sizes. Those small sizes, especially like anything below like a 7, go ahead and get your pockets ready because it's gonna run you something. But for most sizes, you can expect to pay for about 250, specifically for this colorway. So I guess what I'm saying is if you see these below about 190, that's probably a deal for the most part, or they're fake. It feels like that's more and more of a possibility these days, that everything's just a fake or unauthorized. I would love to recommend StockX these days, but I don't even know if I can. Flight Club and GOAT are two of like the more sneaker community go-tos. eBay actually also has a pretty good authentication program, so eBay as well is another good place to go to shop for these. You can see these are kind of dirty. I'll be wearing the shit out of them. These are not just sitting on the shelf by any means. I haven't heard of these getting another release anytime soon, so it ain't looking good price wise. It ain't looking good, I'm gonna be honest with you. This leather on here is Dunk leather. It's the Nike leather. It has that kind of plasticky finish to it. It's not the best quality by any means. Nike puts these fake dimples to make it look like it's a better quality leather, but most of the time it's just like a wax or a plastic coating that they put over it, and then they do their regular finished leather. That is what you're getting here as well, just like in Pandas and Air Force Ones, unfortunately. The leather is what it is. I guess it is technically leather. Yeah, I mean, you can see the bluing on it, that it's actually technically a chrome tan leather, but I guess not the best. One thing I will give to Dunks, especially over Air Force Ones, is that you can see the creasing isn't absolutely destroying the look of the shoe. I don't like how it ripples like that right there, but for the most part, right, I think it's handling it pretty well. Like, these boys are gonna just continue to get beat up, right? And even on the back here, towards the heel, you can see where some of that creasing is. That's kind of naturally where it's gonna be at, but it's not horrible. Not anything to write home about, but it's not horrible. Honestly, they're Dunks, so don't expect a ton of support in the sole. I think the entire sole is only about an inch thick. The stitching to hold the sole in place is real stitching, so that is a plus. The insole is like, you see it, that's not the tongue right there sticking up. That is the insole that I pulled up. But the insole is pretty thin. It almost feels like an EVA. Yeah, I do think that is an EVA foam, which is good. It's what Yeezys are made out of. The Yeezy slides are in EVA, just to give you an idea if you didn't know. It's a pretty flat-footed shoe with a little bit of arch support in there. But for the most part, I haven't had any issues with wearing them throughout the entire day. Obviously, you wear them all day, you walk around, your feet gonna hurt probably no matter what. So it's not any different, like any worse in these than another shoe. And I already know that there's about to be like 3 people who's about to ask this. They don't add much height at all. I already know. How much height do they add? Not much. Half inch, maybe. You know, I can't speak on how long these will last you, but just like any other shoe, if you take care of them, you know, clean them regularly, should last a while. I think it's a cup sole shoe as well, so usually cup soles last fairly long. and yeah, you should be good with that. If you're looking for an easy to style shoe with decent quality and willing to just drop some money and not think much about it, then yes, I would probably say go ahead and buy these, mainly for the fact that they're really easy to style, especially if you're looking for some high tops. If you're looking for a daily wear of a shoe, but you don't typically pay more than like $110 for shoes, and you still want something easy to style, this probably isn't for you, because that price point I don't think is going to change anytime soon. And I think if you're just looking for something that's more versatile to style, there are better options. Mostly though, these are for sneakerheads. These are for people who consider themselves sneakerheads or just like collecting shoes, even at a basic level. This is more for them. Me personally, I'm enjoying these a lot.